Greetings everyone, and welcome again to another episode of the Merrimack Rotary Club Presents. Today's topic, I have to say, is everybody's favorite. It's that time of year. July 4th is just around the corner, and it's time for the Merrimack Rotary Club to sponsor the July 4th Family Fun Day Independence Day celebration, taking place this year on Tuesday, July 4th, 2017, and what a great lineup there is already in store. Our guests today are three individuals who have an incredible amount in common. For starters, they're all Rotarians right here in town, members of the Rotary Club of Merrimack, and they're all putting in hours, countless hours, into making this year's July 4th Family Fun Day Independence Day celebration the best it's ever been. So how fortunate we are to have our guests today, and I'll have them each introduce themselves, starting with Troy Arthune.
Hi, Maureen. Thanks for having us. I'm Troy Arthune. I'm president of the Merrimack Rotary Club.
Great.
Hi, Maureen. Thanks for having us. I'm Bob Best. I am the Vice President-elect, and I'm the volunteer coordinator for our 4th of July event.
Perfect.
Hi, Maureen. I'm Neil Anketel, and I'm the event chairman for the 4th of July this year.
Fantastic. I will add, too, that all three of our guests are very experienced in planning and operating the July 4th Family Fun Day Independence Day celebration. They've been doing it for a few years now and know everything there is to know about the details. So let's get right into it if we could, starting with Neil, who for the second year in a row is the chairman of the 4th of July committee. So Neil, if you could just give us an overview as to what your role is as chairman, this being your second time in that position.
Sure. So I help coordinate, or I do coordinate the efforts of the Rotary members and the volunteers from the community in making this event successful.
Excellent. And Bob, you've had the position in the past, and now Neil has had it now for 2 years, but do you want to add to that?
Well, I'm thankful to have Neil come and take it over and start to tackle all those things that have to be done. You know, the most fun part about it is planning all the different events with music and with activities for the kids, a chalk art contest, an art contest, graphics, not graphics, but arts and crafts for the kids, a whole bunch of activities. It's really a lot of fun to help plan and figure out what we're going to add to it each year.
Right, exactly. So let's start with the what there is to do on Family Fun Day, more or less an overview or a program of the day. Troy, do you want to address that?
Sure. Well, the day starts with the Merrimack Rotary Club hosting the pancake breakfast, and this year it'll be at the upper elementary school.
Oh.
That's a change from years past.
Big change, actually, yes.
The high school is getting a new HVAC, new heating and air conditioning system put into the area, so we've been displaced, and we're going to be at the upper elementary school this year. But the positive is that that's closer to most of the events, so we're hoping that we could consider that as our long-term home for the pancake breakfast going forward. It begins at 8 and goes till 11 a.m. The Midway Family Fun Day portion of the day starts at noon and goes until the fireworks and beyond. The parade begins at 1 o'clock. The opening ceremonies will start between 2 and 2:15, depending upon when the parade is completed. And there needs to be a little bit of flexibility in the opening ceremony time because we're counting on the color guard from the Merrimack Police Department to be part of the opening ceremonies.
Yes.
And they're also participating in the parade. So we're asking a lot of them. So we thought we'd give them a few minutes to get a drink of water and wipe their brow before they participate in the opening ceremonies at 2 to 2:15. And then the main stage will begin with live performances and some recorded music all throughout the day. And that'll be emceed by John Irish.
Making a comeback again. He's done
Yes.
a great job in years past. Let's talk about that point, the entertainment. That's always a big feature of Family Fun Day. So Neil, could you give us an overview as to who's going to be there this year and a general time frame of when they will perform?
Sure. So this year we're excited to have Studio 2 join us again.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they were there last year, and we got some really good feedback.
Great.
They are a Beatles cover band, so we're excited to have them. They'll be performing a little bit later in the afternoon, about 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Also on the main stage, we'll have Darren Roy, local musician. He's a younger musician.
Oh,
and,
David Roy.
Excuse me, David Roy.
Yes,
Okay.
I know him well.
Yeah, you do. I'm sorry for that.
That's all right.
David Roy, he'll be performing with his guitar. He does a great job.
Yes.
And we're still looking to fill a spot for that main stage.
Oh.
We do have some perspectives that we're looking into. But as of right now, we're still working on it.
Excellent. Yes, I know Studio 2 was very popular last year, a Beatles band. And as we were talking earlier, the Beatles are going to have their new XM radio station, exclusive XM radio station coming up very shortly. So it's kind of nice that they will be there in cahoots with their new station launching. So that'll be fantastic.
Well, Neil mentioned David Roy, but Darren Roy will actually have a parking lot party down by the high school
Good point.
later in the day. We also have Stephanie Beach as a magician coming, and she'll be there for entertainment as well. So really a whole full day of entertainment going on.
That's fantastic. Yes, that is so important. And those draw big crowds too. How many would you say typically attend Family Fun Day, if you had to guess?
I've heard the police department estimate it for us before in the past at about 4,000 or 5,000 people through the course of the day.
4,000 or 5,000 people. That is amazing.
That's their estimate. I don't know. I don't know how they count, but
Right. That's an incredible turnout. And to think that the Merrimack Rotary Club, a club of 26, works so hard to make that happen. How many hours would you say go in to putting on Family Fun Day and the pancake breakfast and the like?
Yeah, quite a bit actually. For myself, it seems as though I put in each day. I put some time into it, and as it gets closer, I put in more and more time.
Yeah.
But I thought about how much effort is put forward by everybody, and also the volunteers. And quite literally thousands of hours go into getting this together.
Yeah,
throughout the year.
Absolutely. And when would you say planning starts for this?
Well, we actually have a meeting about a week or two after the event,
Right.
and sit down and review the things that went well or the things that may not have went so well, so we can work on those for the next year. So right away we're working on it. But January 1st, I think, is when I actually sit down and start to focus on what we need to do to get the ball rolling.
My goodness. So right after Christmas, it's 4th of July.
Yeah.
That's
well,
how the
some of
club
the
operates.
ideas come to us right on the 4th of July as we're watching one day unfold. We think about things we want to do for the next year. So it's
Exactly.
on your mind the whole time.
That's fantastic. It gets better and better every year. So vendors are a big part of July 4th, Family Fun Day, Independence Day celebration. Troy, you have been essentially overseeing and managing the vendors. Could you tell us which vendors may be there? And could you also tell our viewers, if anybody would like to be a vendor, how they would go about doing so?
Sure. First of all, if anyone would like to participate as a vendor, we would direct you to the merrimack4th.com website.
Oh, very important.
And on the site are the registration process, as well as some of the food safety checklists that the local fire safety and health folks ask us to help manage with them. This year we have Cold Arizona Ice returning.
Oh.
We have Brewster's returning this year. And we're working on the list of vendors. That's ongoing right up until a day or two before the event, it seems. So that list is in progress. Some highlighted vendors returning. We have vendors who are not involved in food sales, but might be involved in commercial sales of a clothing line and other items.
Right. Great. Wow, there's something for everybody, truly. That's the name Family Fun Day, that is for sure. Now, Bob, you mentioned contests earlier, that being a chalk art, photography, art in general. What is available this year?
So those ones that you mentioned, we do have the chalk art contest, and they're out in the parking lot, and each person gets a space. It doesn't cost anything
Nice.
to enter. The crowd gets to judge it by walking by and seeing what people have done.
Yes.
So we have that going on. The art contest works very similarly, where the community, the public, gets to make the judging. They go by and they pick which one of the photography entries or which one of the art entries they like the best. And so that's another contest that goes on there.
Okay.
Those are the formal contests that we have organized, but if anybody is climbing the rock wall and wants to see if they're faster than their buddy or something like that, that's certainly available for people to do. So all of those things are out there for us.
Perfect. That sounds great. Now, of course, an event like this one takes a lot of resources, and we're so fortunate that businesses and individuals in town are so interested in the event that they sponsor. So, Troy, is it possible you could give us an overview of sponsorships this year, and if our viewers are interested in sponsoring, how they could do so?
Well, if someone's interested in sponsoring, we would again direct them to merrimack4th.com, and there's a section
Huge resource.
there, a section there for sponsors. At this point, our marquee sponsor is Merrimack Immediate Care,
Right.
and they're what we call our founder sponsor. But there are 5 levels of sponsorship, and those are found on the website. But we also have sponsorships available for the pancake breakfast, and how their name of their business is displayed is in keeping with the size of their sponsorship dollar contribution. So I would direct folks to the merrimack4th.com website if they're interested in participating.
Absolutely. And on that website, which is such a great resource, and by the way, a huge mention for Scott Mortimer, who has maintained the site meticulously and is continuing to do that this year for the Merrimack Rotary Club. He really does a great job. But the sponsors are highlighted quite prominently on the site. There are revolving panels, and they're listed, as you mentioned, also on the placemat setting for the pancake breakfast. And as you walk around Family Fun Day, the signage of who's sponsoring at various tents are also available for viewing. So you get a lot of visibility in terms of being so, because the club is so grateful for being a sponsor. So that's important.
It is. There's usually several dozen different companies that sponsor at different levels, all the way from $250 on up for the businesses, and individuals can make any kind of contribution they like. Pancake breakfast sponsorships are even lower dollar amounts if people are really watching the budget. But the more you pay, the more visibility you get, the more recognition you get. So there's just a ton of opportunities for that.
Yes.
There's another aspect of the website that I wanted to not forget about while it was on my mind,
Right.
and that is that families, if you go to the website, you can enter the drawing to ride the fire truck in the parade.
Yes.
Little kids get to ride the fire truck in the parade. We get to give away, I think, 1 or 2 kids that get to ride on it. We've done that for a couple of years. The Merrimack Fire Department is what makes that available to us. Tremendous opportunity for them, and what a lot of fun for a kid on the 4th of July.
Exactly, that's right. And we are very grateful for the Merrimack Fire Department for offering that service. Of course, the only caveat is if they need the fire engine that day for something else, that takes the priority. However, that's never happened. And every winner of that raffle really has a great time. So I'm glad you brought that out, certainly. So in addition to resources and the club overseeing it with your organization and so forth, comes volunteers in order to make what is a very long day run so smoothly. So Bob, could you give an overview of volunteering for the July 4th Family Fun Day and how we always are in need of more?
Absolutely. So on the 4th of July, just the 4th of July, not the setup or the cleanup, but on the day, we have about 200 hours of volunteers from around the community, not counting Rotarians, just from members around the community. And they come from clubs and churches, and I want to mention some of them so that we can thank them, because they're so consistently there for us when we need the help. The Knights of Columbus,
Yes.
Faith Episcopal Church, the Merrimack Dog Park, the Friends of the Merrimack. So we're really broadening those volunteers, but it just takes a lot of people to be there, to run all of the contests and watch the bounce houses and sell tickets. And we're just so grateful for all of the people that are there giving their time. And one of the important things from the Merrimack Rotary standpoint is we're so thankful, we're so grateful for all this help that a good portion of the funds that are raised on that day are donated back to these clubs.
Oh.
And so they can actually gain and continue their mission, advance whatever it is they're interested in, based on volunteering to help us out. We try and help them out a little bit too. So merrimack4th.com has the location on the website for people to show some interest in volunteering, but any of the clubs or groups that want to contact me through the website or any other way, glad to do it. There's no limit to how much help we can use and need on that day. We also have jobs that are before the 4th for setting it up and setting up cables and electricity and staging and banners and all sorts of things. And then on the day after, someone has to clean it all up. and that's another opportunity for volunteers. And we're a hardworking, energetic bunch of Rotarians, but there's limits to what we can do. So we really depend on the community come out and help us for those things.
Yes, so critically important is volunteerism. And you can volunteer for an hour or a whole afternoon or any kind of a shift like that.
Absolutely. Any amount of time that you can put in is certainly helpful. We can arrange to make good use of your time.
That's great. And to then be able to make money for the organization that you represent is truly amazing. So let's start at the top of the day, pancake breakfast. As Troy mentioned, the pancake breakfast this year, new location, very important for our viewers to know. It's at the JMU's cafeteria, also a polling location, so that makes it somewhat easy to remember. But Neil, could you give us an overview of the pancake breakfast in terms of the hours and what's on the menu?
Sure. So it'll start 8 o'clock
Yes.
and runs till 11. Like you said, it's at the JMU's cafeteria or all-purpose room. And on the menu this year, it'll be, of course, pancakes. I believe there's sausage on that menu. There will be coffee, juice, and yeah, you can come on in. Tickets are $5 for adults, $4 for seniors or children. And yeah, you can come in and enjoy a nice breakfast.
Right, and children under 3, I think, are complimentary.
That's correct.
So it's a great time for neighbors to meet one another too in Merrimack, so that makes it very special as well. Now, Bob, I know you're up very early in the morning making the batter.
Yes, absolutely. That's been my job for a couple of years now, to get up the first one into the kitchen to start mixing up the pancake batter, and that usually starts, probably about 6 in the morning where we start to make that, and we usually have 5 or 6 5-gallon buckets full of pancake batter that we have ready to go when all the rest of the volunteers show up to start cooking all the pancakes. And I'm glad to see them come because that means I can go off and do something else. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, boy, all these hours that go into this, it's truly amazing. I mean, somebody who just attends would never really know the behind the scenes that we're getting from the details of this show, but it really is pretty remarkable what goes on. Troy, how would you describe what the role of the town of Merrimack is with the July 4th Family Fun Day Independence Day celebration and the role of our Rotary Club of Merrimack?
Sure. Well, we're thankful for the partnership that we've developed over the last several years with the town council, the town manager, and several departments within the town. And I'm sure we'll forget someone, and my apologies for that. But the interaction we have with the school is one where they're actually the landowner for where all of the events take place. And for that day, it's no longer public use property. It's dedicated for the Rotary and the town's use to put on the Family Fun Day and Independence Day celebration. We receive a lot of guidance and assistance from the superintendent, Marge Shaffrey,
Yes.
from the cafeteria staff, of course, that help us set up to do the pancake breakfast, to the field maintenance folks, to staff helping us move stages and seating for the parade reviewing stand on O'Gara Drive. So the school staff does a lot of, provides a great deal of guidance and support behind the scenes. Within the town, of course, the fire department is of great counsel to us, working with the vendors, inspecting fire systems for the food vendors, inspecting food safety, ensuring that all the tents are anchored properly. They are doing a ladder demonstration on the day of. The fire department and Chief Doyle and Captain Roy and the former Captain Albert, now counselor Peter Albert, have been involved in the early planning with traffic control, patrol during the day of the event. There are going to be demonstrations by the new canine, the canine officer, Dallas, and the seatbelt convincer. So there are any number of folks in and around the town administration that, through their partnership, allow us to put on a marquee event for the town.
Oh, don't forget Matt Kasparius at Parks and Rec too, because he's organizes the parade and he's organizes the fireworks, and then helps us out with all sorts of connections to make sure that we have porta potties and trash cans and all of those kinds of things. Not that his department puts those out, but he's the connection to make all of those things happen.
Right.
And he's been a great help for us all along the way as well.
Very true. My goodness, how many things go into this is really amazing, and it's great for our public to hear this every year.
Yes.
So, is there a rain date?
it's rain or shine,
Okay.
with one caveat. If for safety reasons, because of weather or high winds, the fire department is the decider on whether that's going to happen. We defer to their judgment. So if there is a rain date, it'll be because it wasn't safe to pull the fireworks on the day of the event, and it likely would be the following day. But the Family Fun Day proper activities during the day are rain or shine.
Okay, very important to remember. That's for sure. Rain or shine. We wouldn't want anyone to miss it. So that's very important. And it's easy to remember, too, July 4th. Who could forget that date? And especially Merrimack having a signer of the Declaration of Independence interred right here in town. It has a great meaning for this town in particular. So the website, very important, should have been scrolled throughout this entire taping, actually. It's that important. And it's Merrimack 4th, that's the number 4, th.com. Neil, do you want to just talk briefly about what you could find on that site if a viewer were to go to it right now?
Yeah, so what you'd be able to find is pretty much what we discussed today. You can find a list of events and entertainment for the day of. You can also find information on how you can become a vendor, information on how you can become a sponsor. Let's see, you have information for the pancake breakfast, and actually not just the list of events for the Family Fun Day, but for the whole day in the town. There's going to be a 5K sparkler,
Right.
5K race.
Yep, at the Y.
Yeah, there'll be information about the parade there as well. Pretty much, yeah, everything we discussed today, you can go there and check it out and get all that information.
Right. And so the parade starts at
Starts at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, and the
Yeah.
fireworks are at
That'll be at dusk,
Dusk,
right around
yes.
9 o'clock.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, it's hard to believe, but we're almost out of time, which is always incredible to me every time I tape a show. But I'm just wondering if any of you have a favorite part of the Merrimack July 4th Family Fun Day, Independence Day celebration. Neil, we'll
Yeah.
start with you.
I have a couple actually. That
Oh,
I
okay.
was thinking about it.
This might be all the time we have.
Yeah,
Go
well,
ahead.
one is later in the afternoon when I look around and I see everybody engaged in the activities or
Right.
eating something or enjoying the entertainment. It's very rewarding to see that a group of people can put together and the people in the town can put together an event that so many
Yeah.
do enjoy.
Very true.
And the other time I think is probably my most favorite is when it's over at
Yep.
the end of the evening and I can finally sit down with my family and enjoy the fireworks.
Yes,
So,
that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, start planning for next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Good memories. All right, Bob.
Oh, those are certainly fabulous things that I think everybody would enjoy for the event. I want to sort of think in a different direction and not be repetitive. So I want to talk about all the people that come and help us, like
Yes.
John Irish with the music
Right.
and Peter Duke with all the electricity and
Yes.
all of that. And we borrow equipment from the MYA to have the big lights going on in the field. And
Yeah.
there's just so much around the community in 20 different directions that contributes to and helps and makes this program a success. And I'm just so grateful to all of the folks for all of the help that they give to make that a success, to have us to be able to do that, because there's just no way that we could supply all of that infrastructure and manpower ourselves without that help. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm always grateful for.
Excellent. Very good point. And Troy?
I have two favorites.
Okay.
My first last year was to see Neil's kids dunk him in the dunk tank.
Oh, that may happen again.
My real favorite though is the honor guard portion of the opening ceremonies,
Yes.
where we remember that July 4th is more than a day on the calendar. It's where we have the chance to celebrate our independence.
Excellent. Very good point. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. That was such an informative 27 minutes on the nose. That's all the time we have. But all of the details are right there on our website, merrimack4th.com. We don't want you to miss any detail about July 4th, a Tuesday this year, starting with the pancake breakfast in the morning, the parade at 1 o'clock, the Family Fun Day in the afternoon with the opening ceremony at 2 or so, and then the fireworks at dusk. We don't want you to miss a thing. It's always a great time, and you can see just how much planning and effort and resources go into the event, and it's really all for the community to celebrate our nation's birth. So I'm Maureen Mooney, a past president of the Merrimack Rotary Club. It's been a pleasure having all of you watching our show. I hope to see you at the Family Fun Day, and I wish you all a very happy Independence Day. So long.